A motor's got to drive 4 wheels. It's going to use more gas than a motor. It just has to drive 2.
Too long, didn't read the troll.
Every time the detective brings up a new topic, like the cemetery near Lise Fredette's house, or his new car, you will notice that Andrew will constantly try to steer the conversation away from the evidence surrounding Lise Fredette's murder, and instead towards a more light-hearted and less confrontational topic, in this instance, the fuel consumption of his new car. Andrew is doing this in search of a rest, and also due to the fact that he is fearful of what else is to come. The detective eventually recognizes Andrew's strategy and does not allow him to take control of the interrogation or have a rest.
Are you aware, and I'm sure you are, because you're very, very well read, you're a smart guy, planes that go down, planes that go missing, right? I mean, remember that Air India jet that went down?
Yeah.
And I don't think they've ever still recovered recovered the wreckage. Remember that one? Just this past summer, I think it was?
There was one went down over Lockerbie in the 1980s that they haven't got that figured out yet. That's the RCMP that's...
Holy fuck, this dude is literally bringing back info from the 80s. I remember when the first plane was invented.
But whenever a plane...
I thought old people do fucking stories and they do story time. But this young detective is like rambling on like an old man.
Crashes and goes down. What is the one thing that they want to recover first?
A black box!
Exactly. Why do they want the black box?
Because it records the activity of the plane when it went down.
Exactly. Were you aware that cars also have their version of a black box installed in the computer modules?
Is that even true?
Okay, they do. So what happens is, in serious cases like this, when we seize a car forensically, okay, and we have to go through it forensically, so, you know, we're looking for blood and fibers and hair, but when we suspect or believe that a vehicle...
Like maybe if they have like a OnStar or some shit, but no, right?
...has been utilized, one of the things that we do is we do a forensic examination on the black box, the computer module that's installed in the car, that retrieves and holds data as to where that car's been. It's like a built-in GPS.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it provides us with speed.
Yeah, that's not real.
Braking.
No fucking shot that's real, dude. No fucking shot. Maybe in like newer cars, but no shot is that real in like a 2010 Subaru. He's just like grossly expanding on available technology.
Stops, starts, but it also provides us with coordinates. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it's built right into the car. Dealers can access it. Us, through our investigative tools now, we can access the data as well, okay? So that's one of the other things that's happening with your car right now.
Yeah.
Okay?
But that was not on the search warrant.
What's that?
That was not mentioned in the search warrant.
I know that. I know that.
So that might be considered to be fruit of the poison tree.
It's possible, but I still have to look at it because it's a murder, right? It's possible, absolutely.
Anyway.
But is there any reason you can think of when we download that data?
No, I've got no answers for you at all.
Okay, but that's why I have to ask the questions, right?
Yeah.
Is there any reason you can think of why that data is going to show you?
I can't hear what old man is saying.
Okay. Well, then I just want you to understand what we're working on.
Yeah.
And what we're doing. Okay. So you're aware of what's going on. Because I think it's important for you to know.
Yeah.
I think it's important for you to understand what we're working on as investigators. I think you have every right to know that. You're the one sitting here under arrest. Make sense?
I still don't know why they don't just let me go home and stay at home where I would be comfortable. Because I'm certainly not going to be going anywhere or doing anything.
Right. You recognize that?
Yeah, that's my car.
That's your car. Okay.
Mhm.
The detective now moves on to the more damning pieces of evidence, and the main reason why Andrew was later convicted. Andrew's lack of knowledge of forensic evidence is quite alarming, as he seems to not realize that the police can identify a plethora of things via DNA profiling.
And that's your carport?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, what was that a picture of?
Looks like an exhaust tailpipe.
Yeah, and it's actually this one over here. I just want to show you. It's this one.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So this is a close-up
Uh-huh.
of this exhaust pipe.
Mhm.
So the way that vehicle's facing.
If all cars had GPS black boxes that demonstrated location data in real time, then cars would never be stolen again. It makes sense if, like, I'm a lot manager and only OnStars has them, but cars do not. Yeah. You can get limited information from a black box, like, not in real time, and you can disconnect it. Teslas have something like this called Sentry Mode. Some cars record store speeds and throttle position. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Facing right now, that would be the driver's side.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you agree that's your car?
Mm-hmm.
That's your carport?
Yep.
Okay. So this is this blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
It's blood.
This dude is
This
so old. Back in his day, DNA evidence didn't exist.
is back here on your tailgate. It's a close-up, okay, on the tailgate.
Yeah.
Okay, that's blood.
Mm-hmm.
This, it's kind of dark, but it's what we call the pillars.
Yeah.
So this is the driver door, passenger door. On the
Yeah.
passenger
Yeah.
She's
side,
like surprised to
Yeah.
find out.
there's blood there.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I've done is, that's blood, and that's blood
Uh-huh.
on your car.
Mm-hmm.
Whose blood do you think that is?
No idea. But I told the police right at the beginning, right on the day they took me away on Thursday, I told them if they wanted blood, I would give them blood.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
they could compare it to this blood.
Is there any, like, is it logical? Would that be your blood? Have you cut yourself?
Yeah, I cut myself here.
Okay, and how'd you do that?
I did it with a chisel.
A chisel?
Yeah.
Okay, what?
And I explained all this to Dan LeVay.
Okay.
I even showed him what I was working on when it happened, and showed him how it happened and everything else.
No, I wasn't kidding. I wasn't joking when I said DNA literally didn't exist until, like, I don't know exactly what year, but, like, no, back before, like, the 90s and shit, you could just, like, murder someone and low-key get away with it. Like, DNA profiling didn't exist. Obviously, DNA existed, but DNA happened in the last, 30 years. That's when DNA started becoming a real thing.
He actually helped me.
Did he? Okay. Now, after you cut your hand, did you touch your car?
I must have.
Okay. No, and that's why I'm asking, right? Because I mean that would bleed pretty good, and you're right-handed or left-handed.
Right-handed.
So it would make sense that you would open doors with your right hand, things like that. Right?
I can only assume that this blood got on the car. But I'm
That would
assuming
make that would
I
make
don't
sense,
know.
right?
It's the only thing I can think of.
Is there any reason you could think of why that would be
I don't know.
her blood?
I
Lisa's
don't-
blood.
I have no idea.
It's her blood.
Oh, it's her blood.
It is.
Oh, yeah. Well, it looks to me like you've got everything wrapped up.
Low-key, at first, he was coming across way more delirious and like an innocent old man. But now, the more he pushes back. And it makes me feel like he's becoming more and more guilty by the second. Like, he's starting to fail my vibe checks a little bit. Because originally he was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. But now he's like, aha, you couldn't find anything, you're shit.
You're a very logical man. You're a very smart man.
I'm not a very smart man at all.
You are.
Quite sure if you tested my intelligence, it would be, at best, it would be average.
Well, what I mean by that is this. You are a very logical person. And so I don't want to sit here, and play any type of games with you. I want you to understand why you're here, because I think you deserve to be treated with respect and courtesy, just the same way you've treated me here today, which I appreciate. I'm telling you right now that that's her blood on your car, okay? But I'm also prepared to back it up because you're such a smart man. That's the report from the Center of Forensic Sciences that you may have a look at and read.
Okay, dude, so we just had the evidence and didn't want to fucking reveal it until the end? What the fuck? What a video, dog. What a fucking buried ass lead, dude. He was just like, why did you go on a 35-minute tangent about like the American surveillance state post 9/11 and like the gas mileage on fucking Subarus and shit?
Which is not my opinion. It is their opinion that they have done the scientific tests and they have verified the fact that it's her blood on your car.
Cop was literally stalling for content so he could hit the minimum hour for YouTube ad revenue.
And you can read through that, take your time. Or I can read it to you. Would you like me to read it to you?
I don't have my glasses.
Want me to get them for you?
No, I don't need to read that. I'll take your word for it.
That's her blood on your car.
Okay.
Okay. So I just want you to be aware of that. Okay. You haven't seen her since the Saturday before she went missing.
That's right.
So she hasn't been in your car because she hasn't been anywhere near your car. And yet her blood is on your car. How does that happen?
I don't know.
You do know. That's the thing.
No idea.
We're at a point right now where this isn't a what happened to her. This isn't a whodunit. Okay, we know she's gone. I know you're responsible. But there's still some, the big question is the why. That's the only answer.
The how and why technique.
Why did this happen? It's not did you do it. We know you did. Okay. This is only one set of scientific testing that's happened. There's more scientific testing going on as we speak, plus all the pictures, plus all the images. You can see where this is going. This is all coming to one great big massive head, okay? The evidence takes me where I need to be, and I have her blood all over your car. I have a lady that's missing that hasn't been seen since the 12th. I have a sign of a struggle in her driveway where there's blood on her driveway and obvious signs of a struggle. There's blood at your house.
We've already arrived at like 25 times more evidence than what it took to convict Daniel Holtzclaw of like half of the fucking crimes that he allegedly committed at this point. Like,
House.
Blood in my house.
Right?
Well, there'll be blood all over my house.
Right.
Because I'm always bleeding.
Right.
But it'll be mine.
wait, what is this? I'm not hiding in the back of my barbershop to watch Twitch. Shut the fuck up. That's pretty funny.
Blood.
Okay.
It sure as hell is not Lisa's blood in my house.
But it's on your car.
Well,
Barber
I don't know
Andy.
about that.
That's science. It's right there. It's on your car. Okay. And you know what? Even down to it's on your exhaust. Low. Okay. Here's the thing. We're at
Open
this
and shut
point
as fuck.
where you know exactly what happened to you. Now,
At this point, most of the evidence is revealed, and the detective decides to fully confront Andrew and step up the interrogation. Going forwards, the detective will attempt to keep Andrew's morale and confidence as low as possible to stop any potential denial or resistance. A clever way that the detective will subconsciously reinforce the fact that Andrew is believed to be the culprit is by shifting the focus of the interrogation from finding the murderer to body retrieval. This changing of wording does not offer Andrew the chance to dispute the detective's claims and build up his confidence.
the way I have to look at it is, and I do look at it like this, do I think for one moment that you planned all this? Absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie, this doesn't hit like the JCS ones. It doesn't. Let's be real. It literally does not hit like the JCS ones. I don't know why, but I guess because JCS ones are like really interesting content. There's not a lot of commentary on this. There's a JCS re-upload. The death row phenomenon. There's no shot this is a JCS re-upload. For real? Bro, this is like... There's one comment and 10,000 views on this. If there was blood outside of the car to get to his house, did he have to drive, or was his home close by? We've already watched every JCS video with the exception of like one. We haven't watched the military one, but that's it.
Not. Do I think for one moment that you woke up one day and said that I'm going to harm her and take her life? No, I don't.
Half of the JCS videos are private or removed, lol. Wouldn't be surprised your reactions to his videos will end up being used in an archive of his channel in a year's time. I wonder why he like why are the JCS videos lost? Like, do we know? Do we know why? He reuses / updates videos? Wait, really? Okay, people who said, yeah, TT Criminology is not as good as Mad Orchard. Not criminal psychology, but interesting on Drew Peterson. What? FBI didn't like him releasing the cops' secret techniques? Yeah, right, dude. That's such a stupid take. It's funny. I think he doesn't like keeping them up. If something comes to light, that means he's stating something factually wrong. So if that happens after his upload, he will remove it. But I haven't looked too far into it. From what I understand, JCS doesn't even like use the Patreon anymore. I like how these true murder people are becoming household names to us. Oh yeah. No interrogations, but that chapter is an amazing true crime channel on YouTube. No, I like the interrogations because, like, I don't know why, but there's something really interesting about watching, like, a psychopath or a sociopath try to, like, get out of having a conversation with another psychopath who has a badge slapped on his chest and then, like, get caught in his own lies. Like, it's just so rewarding. They're so interesting to watch. that we literally sit here and watch like the worst quality footage with absolutely the worst audio. You know what I mean? It's fucking great. I really like the Mad Orchard channel though. They have great. JCS now does ASMR queefing videos? Fuck, dude. We lost another one, boys. That's so... There's a good video with Alec Manassian's interrogation. Yeah, I kind of want to watch that. I don't know if I missed it already, but to catch a predator in a similar vein to these interrogations, at least when it comes to monsters being forced to squirm. Yeah, I totally get why people like... I totally understand why people watch like the pedophile stuff too. This is the Alec Manassian one, but I'm worried that there's gonna be... What the fuck? I'm worried that there's gonna be fucking blood in this. Wait, what did I say? That phrasing? What happened? I said it's really rewarding to watch pedophiles squirm. What did I say wrong? I can see why. I mean, like, I can see why people would love watching the pedophile stuff. Like, videos of pedophiles getting caught. This is one of the reasons I got into psychology, an interesting story of a supposed psychopath. Just shut the fuck up! He's so mad at me, dude. He's like... I love when motherfuckers come into a Twitch chat to be like, shut up, streamer. What the fuck? Okay. I thought you said there's no violence in this, dude. What does he have in his hand?
Yeah, I'm heading over to 32 to help them out where they want me.
The last location I had is Young South.
What did he have in his hands? Just a wallet? Yeah, that's how you know this is Canada, boys. Okay? That's how you know this is Canada. There it is, boys. There it fucking is. Okay? Right off the bat, let me just tell you real quick. That's Canada.
The B cross.
T43 needs a unit here at Parkville. Multiple victims being ambulance ASAP.
They would have fucking ripped him in America.
On
He would have
April
been
23rd,
shredded.
2018, an individual by the name of Alec Manassian drove a white Chevrolet Express van around Toronto, Canada, striking and killing 10 people and injuring 16. A police officer eventually intercepted the van and confronted the driver, Manassian, and arrested him. It was reported multiple times that Manassian tried to provoke the officer into using deadly force by repeatedly pulling a dark object from his pocket and pointing it at him, most likely in the hopes that the officer would discharge his firearm. However, it soon became clear to the officer that Manassian was not carrying a firearm, and he was put under arrest and interrogated.
The term, for the chatter who was wondering, is called suicide by cop. Of course, because it's in Canada, I guess it doesn't work like that, like it would in America, where it's damn near 100%. But in Canada, it's clearly not 100%.
A short time later. However, before we get into what led to this tragic attack from Alec Manassian, we need to understand the motivations of another disturbed man by the name of Elliot Rodger. And before we understand Elliot Rodger, we need to understand what an incel is. Wikipedia defines incel, or involuntary celibate, this way. Members of an online subculture who define themselves as unable to find a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one. Essentially, an incel is a male who wants to have a girlfriend, wants to have sex, wants to have a romantic relationship, but by their own perception, those things are unattainable for them. As a result, they blame women for not being attracted to them, or alternatively for being attracted to other non-incel men. This blame can also be put on other men who incels feel are more attractive than them, therefore acquiring more attention from the opposite sex, often referred to as Chuds. This viewpoint can result in an incel being bitter and angry primarily towards women, which naturally can make them less likely to get a romantic relationship, and the prophecy becomes self-fulfilling.
Guys congregate, and there's ongoing conversations every single day with people all over the world. And a lot of incels are really obsessed with their looks.
Oh my god. That dude's fucking... Oh my god, that dude's name was Monka Giga. That's literally a Twitch viewer, dude. That's literally a Twitch viewer. Oh my fucking god, of course. Fucking course, dude.
A lot of incels are really obsessed with their looks. And I think it's kind of gives us a nice window into the rejection and the depression that some of the incels are really feeling.
I think all men deep down are really pissed off by women.
Wish you all were dead.
And they adopt this sort of fatalistic attitude that they are not genetically made in an attractive way for women, and therefore are doomed to never find intimacy.
The subculture of incels has grown from a small forum where dateless individuals could share their experiences and ideas.
I don't know what happened, but I do feel like this shit passed a little bit on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, it used to be, I feel like it used to be worse overall. Like, a lot of the circles that this shit used to pop off in have been, like, pushed away. No, I just don't hear about it as much anymore. Dude, there used to be incels in this community all the fucking time, dude. Like, literally nonstop. We would have to ban people who just straight up would just say, like, the most psychotic shit. Incels, very similar to, like, Minecraft stands, have a very specific way of speaking. You know how you can, like, kind of catch on to the person, like, typing is like a Minecraft stand by the condescension and patronizing attitude in their tone when they're educating you? Incels are like that as well. They have like a definable, obviously I'm not saying they're similar to one another, but there's certainly a way that incels fucking talk. Where like it's weird where like they'll say, I mean, females is one indicator, but like not always. It's, you have to look for context, but one way that you can, like, one defining thing is like the hyper focus on like the hyper focus on like physical perception, the femcells are on the rise now. There are definitely femcells for sure. Like they'll do like Chad phrenology. Like they definitely do some skull science. Why be constantly rejected by women you are attracted to when you can just beat the nameless king? It's better than sex, right, Azan? Bottom of the hour. I already ran the ad. But yes, that's true.
To almost a hate group against women. Many times they freely discuss violence against women who refuse to engage with them sexually or romantically, or violence against men who they feel are more attractive to women. Incels have their own terminology, their own ideology, and even more prominent incels that they look up to.
Look at Elliot Rogers.
Enter Elliot Roger.
The Supreme Gentleman Elliot Rogers.
I'll be a god, exacting my retribution and all those who deserve it.
Elliot Roger was born in London and moved to the United States with his parents when he was 5 years old, eventually being raised in Los Angeles. Throughout his life, he experienced consistent bullying, mockery, and beatings. He also showed signs of developmental and behavioral disorders despite never being formally diagnosed. As he got older, his bitterness and hate for those around him began to grow. His jealousy and anger toward women who he felt ignored him grew as well, leading to multiple violent incidents when he was an adolescent. In 2011, Roger threw coffee on a couple he was jealous of, and also threw coffee on 2 girls for not smiling at him. In July 2013, after being mocked at a party, Roger attempted to push a small group of girls off a 10-foot ledge. Roger's grievances were also well documented. In addition to having a YouTube channel where
this motherfucker was the original car poster, dude. Like, angry freaks posting from their cars. Like, literally the first. He had a nice-ass car, too. Like, I mean, this dude was just, oh, God, he was the fucking worst.
where he would post videos expressing his displeasure at what was going on in his life. He would also end up writing a 100,000-word manifesto entitled, My Twisted World.
I was just about to say, the moment that you write a manifesto, it's a wrap, dude. Again, self-report, vibe check failure. A much lighter offense is having a 6-hour fucking debate in Discord about any particular grievance. But this is like the #1 red flag of all red flags. Okay? Karl Marx, big red flag guy. But like, quite literally. Okay? It's true. I'm consistent, dude. The biggest of red flags.
The story of Elliot Roger.
Humanity, ... This motherfucker thinks he's an anime villain, dude. Look at this. Humanity. All of my suffering on this world has been at the hands of humanity, particularly women. Like, dude, Jesus Christ, dude. Wait, what did he say? Least psychopathic essay, Andy? Yeah, literally. It's just like, dude, Death Note broke people's brains. Like, I swear to God. Everybody thinks they're fucking Light Yagami. Everyone. Motherfuckers read Death Note and go, oh, I'm Light Yagami. So stupid.
The manifesto was filled with hateful, racist, and misogynistic language and ideas.
The irony, of course, is that the irony is that Light Yagami had a fucking goth girlfriend. Like, literally had a big titty goth girlfriend, dude. Which kind of, like, adds insult to his offenses. Because, like, he wasn't even a fucking incel. I had the biggest crush. Whatever the fuck. Misa. Yeah. Such bullshit, dude. Fuck. Shit, it made me an incel reading that. Where I was like, fuck, I wish she was my girlfriend, dude. He didn't even want her.
He ended up sending this manifesto to 34 people, his family, therapists, and classmates included. By this time, he had also purchased multiple firearms. On May 23, 2014, Roger killed 3 men, 2 of them being his roommate.
Hold on. Is there any...
by stabbing them numerous times in his apartment. He then went to a coffee shop and then around 8:30 p.m. created his final video to his YouTube channel entitled Elliot Rogers Retribution and uploaded it less than an hour later.
Hi, Elliot Roger here. Well, this is my last video. It all has to come to this. Tomorrow is the day of retribution. The day in which I will have my revenge against humanity. Against all of you.
God, it's like actual fucking shitty, like straight the Blu-ray villain type beat. Like he literally thought he was so sick. And the worst part about it is, aside from the senseless cruelty, the brutality, the violence, is that all these other fucking annoying ass nerds on the internet looked at this shit. All of those annoying fucking nerds who scoff at like video game writing because it's not good enough for them and their intellectual tastes, and thought this guy was so sick.
For the last 8 years of my life, ever since I've hit puberty, I've been forced to endure an existence of loneliness, rejection, and unfulfilled desires, all because girls have never been attracted to me. Girls gave their affection and sex and love to other men, but never to me.
Yeah, I wonder why, motherfucker. You come from a rich family, you're like a decently attractive dude. I wonder why girls didn't want to fuck you. Like, I wonder why. Entitled motherfucker, dude. Little piss shit.
I'm 22 years old, and I'm still a virgin. I've never even kissed a girl. I've been through college for 2.5 years. More than that, actually. And I'm still a virgin. It has been very torturous. College is the time when everyone experiences those things such as sex and fun and pleasure. But in those years, I've had to rot in loneliness.
Like, think about it, dude. There's so much awful shit happening on the planet every fucking day. Poverty. There's epidemics occurring all around the world, okay? Global capitalism has destroyed the fucking third world in endless amounts of exploitation. Like, there's kids being born with fucking AIDS. And this motherfucker sitting in his, like, nice 3 series in the middle of Santa Barbara as the sun goes down, reveling in self-pity because he couldn't get coochie. Why couldn't he get coochie? He looked good. Okay, he was a decently looking dude. Has a nice car. He's, like, rich. Why couldn't he get coochie? Well, because this attitude, okay? Motherfucker had main character syndrome and was constantly and obsessively freaking out over the fact that he just could not get laid. So stupid, dude.
It's not fair.
Roger then drove to the Alpha
Sorry, it was
Phi
loud.
sorority house at Embarcadero, where after failing to enter the sorority house itself, began shooting people nearby. He then went on a rampage, driving around town, shooting multiple people and striking others with his vehicle.
What the fuck?
At around 9:35 p.m. that evening, Police found Roger's car with him inside, dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. In total, 6 people were killed by Roger and 14 others were injured from gunshot wounds or blunt trauma from his vehicle. From this incident sparked countless discussions on gun control, internet culture, and misogyny. To any sane...
You should have hired a sex worker? No, dude. No, that's crazy. Why are you subjecting sex workers to his psychopathic nonsense? You should have... That was not going to fix his problems, dude. No, he was supposed to fucking work on self-improvement, okay? A fallen king? What? Here's the thing, guys. Confidence comes from within. That's why I always say, I know it sounds stupid, but like, I always tell you short-term goals and long-term goals. Setting short-term, like easily achievable goals for yourself that ultimately end up with like, arriving at long-term goals that you have for yourself and building confidence from within, knowing that you can achieve goals that you've set for yourself. Like, these are some very simple ways that you can kickstart your, healing process, I guess. It's not going to happen. Like, having sex with a sex worker is not going to magically change his, like, crippling insecurities.
A rationally thinking person who hears about this case, Elliot Rodger is a disturbed, depraved, hateful individual who took the bad experiences from his life and used them as justification to commit multiple murders. To some incels, however, Elliot Rodger became something else. A hero.
Private Recruit Manassian, Infantry 0010, wishing to speak to Sergeant 4chan. The incel rebellion has already become. We will overthrow all the Chads and Stacys. Yo, this is literally the fucking wackest way to be like a mass murderer. I'm just gonna put it out there, okay? Like, it's so fucking cringe too. Like, on top of like how horrifying mass murder is, but it's like literally fucking nuclear levels of cringe too. Jesus Christ.
While the rest of the world remained rightfully disgusted at the actions of Rodger, the internet community of incels began to deify him, even referring to him as Saint Elliot. Posts and threads were created in support of Rodger's actions, even blaming women for the crimes he'd committed. Throughout the incel community, many expressed shameless approval for Rodger's actions. One of these individuals was Alec Manassian.
Alec?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good, how are you?
Good, good. Did you drink water?
Sure.
Thank you very much. Thanks so much. How you feeling?
I'm good.
You feeling okay? My name's Rob Thomas.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, how are you? How are you? You doing okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably had better days than this, I guess, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am a little shaken, to be honest.
A little shaken?
It's not like it's not my usual day, obviously.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that. Yeah. Alec, do you mind if I call you Alec?
Yeah, sure.
What do your friends normally call you?
Alec.
Alec. Yeah, Alec, my name's Rob Thomas, so I want you to call me Rob from here on in, okay?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. Alec, I want you to understand something. I'm a senior detective with the Toronto Police. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
You know I'm a police officer?
Yes.
Okay. I don't wear a uniform. I wear a suit and tie because of the type of work that I do. But although I'm in a suit and tie, I'm an actual police officer, okay? And I'm one of the senior investigators on this case, okay? I got called in for this specific case because of what's happened and the involvement and everything else that's been going on, okay? Before we get started, I want you to know that we're being videotaped and audio taped. Okay?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Yes, everything I say and do is being captured.
Exactly, yeah, on audio and video. Okay? Now, here's what I want to do, Alec. I want to talk to you. Okay? We're going to spend a good deal of time together. Okay?
Okay.
It's important that I talk to you. All right?
This cop is applying what is known as the Don Draper technique. Why does he fucking sound like he's about to sell him like the next advertising campaign for Toyota? Like, look at how dapper I am. Do you like that? Yeah, I'm not like a regular cop.
I've done a little bit of reading, and I know a little bit about involuntary
celibacy.
Celibacy, right? So,
Oh my god, these motherfuckers don't even know how to say celibacy, bro. Imagine being a fucking incel and not knowing how to say celibacy. Dude, oh my god. Oh, he doesn't even fucking know his own goddamn community's terminology. Are you fucking kidding me?
being celibate, involuntarily celibate. What does that mean?
That means celibacy means someone who never has a sexual intercourse.
Dude, smartest guy on 4chan, literally. Like, fuck me, dude. Holy shit. I can't. This is like when I found out that the proper way to say tinnitus is tinnitus.
Voluntary celibacy means this wasn't your choice. You essentially have been thrown into true forced loneliness, and you're unable to lose your virginity. Right. This is especially painful for young males.
Note the way that Alec describes the term involuntary celibacy. A great deal of the blame, if not all of it,
to the person who said he sounds Persian, he's Armenian.
It is shifted onto society or the people around the involuntary celibate. He uses terms like thrown into, unable to, and forced loneliness.
Oh, typical Turk watching fucking Armenian mass murderer to get back. I see how it is. Motherfucker said he's Turkish. Okay, bro.
This implies that the onus is not on the individual in this case, the incel, but rather the people around him, or his current situation, whatever that may be.
Right. That makes sense. When did you first, sorry, you mentioned this and I forgot. When did you first go on to 4chan?
2014.
2014, and specifically when in 2014?
Like, this dude is obviously like a sick freak, right? But low key, if he never went on 4chan, like, those people those people definitely wouldn't have been murdered, and maybe no one would have gotten fucking murdered. I just think about that.
May 23, 2014.
And how were you able to remember that?
Because I remember that was a very significant day.
Okay, what was that?
That was when Elliot Rodger decided to essentially commit an uprising, a beta uprising, if you will,
right,
against the
Okay, I have to say something here. I'm going to issue another trigger warning. This is maximum cringe. And it also, like, if you were this person at some point, if you were on like a fucking 4chan message board or some shit, and you used to use terminology like this might be too hard to watch. Like, literally too hard to watch, because it just like shows you potentially like what your old self looked like and resembled. Also, low-key, this is why I always fucking specify that, like, no matter how crazy Minecraft stands get, like, it's never like this, okay? Because they might get cringe, they might get crazy, they might do, like, mass-targeted threads where they call out every, like, microaggression or whatever. But, like, it still stems from a place of empathy. Misguided anger, but still, their ideology still stems from a place of empathy. These motherfuckers, on the other hand, are full of hatred.
Chuds and the Stacys. It was a beta uprising.
A beta uprising? Okay.
Although he didn't call it a beta uprising at the time. Someone else who was inspired by him by the name of Chris Harper called it a beta uprising sometime in, actually I believe it was October 1, 2015.
It was Elliot Rodger who was the father.
Basically the founding forefather of the entire movement.
Right, right. So explain to me this movement. What's this movement about?
Like, look at how matter of fact he is in describing a beta uprising, bro. That's crazy.
It's basically a movement of angry incels.
Bro, just believe in God, dude. Like, what the fuck are you doing? This is what I mean. Like, just literally, unironically, just fucking believe in God. What the fuck? Please. Please, dude.
Such as myself, who are unable to get laid. Therefore, we want to overthrow the Chuds, which would force the Stacys to be forced to reproduce with the incels.
Right.
Take a moment and really consider the lunacy of what is being said here. This uprising he's talking about, this movement, is to eliminate all of the Chuds, who he previously established are men who incels feel have more sexual attractiveness to women, in order to force Stacys, or women who are sexually attractive, to reproduce with the incels. This narrative would be almost completely laughable if it wasn't for the glaring fact that a number of the incel community, estimated to be at or over 100,000 at the time of making this video, share similar viewpoints to Alec Manassian and Elliot Rodger.
Okay, when you say incels,
involuntary celibate.
Celibate. So that's just a short form for fellas who
can't get laid,
can't have sex. Right? Okay. And
if he says Kekistan, I'm shutting it off.
What happened in the Elliot Rodgers uprising? What did he do?
I know he used a gun as well as a vehicle to convert the life status of certain individuals to death status.
Right.
Only to carry the message that incels can't be oppressed.
And then what about Chris Harper Mercer? What did he do?
Christopher Harper Mercer was a 26-year-old student at Umpqua Community College in Oregon who identified with the violent side of the incel movement. On October 1st, 2015, he fatally shot an assistant professor and 8 students, injuring another 8. After a shootout, Harper shot himself in the head. To this day, it is considered one of the deadliest mass shootings in Oregon history.
He used a gun for all of his murders.
And were these fellas active on 4chan?
Yes.
They were. Have you ever communicated with these fellas?
I actually have, as a matter of fact.
Who did you communicate with?
Autistic, by the way, just throwing that out there. Oh, never mind. He shouldn't go to jail. Sorry. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, man. I didn't realize that, like, he had autism. Fuck. Sorry, boys. Wrap it up. Let's not watch the rest of this, honestly. Everybody knows, like, it's a shield. Yeah, when you throw up the autism shield, all of a sudden, you know, the fucking 10 people get unmurdered.
Both of them, actually.
Really?
We discussed our frustrations at society and being unable to get laid, and we were plotting a certain timed strikes on society in order to confuse and shake the foundations, just to put all the normies in a state of panic.
Okay, and who would be a normie?
Normie means normal people. That would be anyone who is considered to be normal by the unfair standards of society.
But not the Chads or Stacys. Chads
and Stacys are actually above normies, or at least.
Imagine not believing the very real systemic forms of violence, all the way from, like, the structural violence of poverty to systemic racism, intergenerational trauma that comes from all these things, and then fucking turning around and being like, the real systemic problem is when women don't want to fuck me because I have the worst personality of all time. incredible shit. I mean, honestly. God, I hate how these terms have been memed into unironically used terms today. I mean, yeah, I say fucking normies and shit, but I wouldn't be using it with a fucking adult, dude. Incel culture is Twitch culture? Yes. Mohammed Khanakin, full face of Kurdistan, incel culture is Twitch culture. Yes, this is true. This is why spending all day on forums and Discord servers is bad. Your reality becomes distorted. 100%. Yeah. Another culture that is on Twitch, though, is the top of the hour culture. Where at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. And obviously, it's the best kind of culture, but the worst kind of culture at the same time. Best kind of culture, however, because you can avoid said ad breaks. Now, you might be wondering how you can avoid said ad breaks. Instead of spamming 5 out of 10 transition or throwing up Pogo tomato times. Instead of doing that, you could subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. You know, or an ad block or a VPN. These are ways you can avoid the ad breaks, which are coming right now. Here's the ad break. Inshallah, you must protect your life status.
At least they think they're above norms.
Of course, yeah. Okay, all right. So is it fair to say you've got Chads and Stacy's up here, normies down here, and then you've got celebs who believe that they are being repressed? Incels.
Celebs.
Sorry.
Yes.
Incels who believe they're being suppressed or repressed. Yes. And so as a result, to even the playing field.
Yes.
They convert the Stacys and Chads from living to dead, and to make
so that we come out on top.
Yeah, more than so. Is there?
Look how fucking serious he is when describing this shit, dude. What a fucking psycho.
Get ready for this next bit, because if you didn't think what this guy was saying was insane before, you haven't heard anything yet.
All of the alpha males.
All the alpha males. So the Chads.
Yes.
So those are the people that you want to kill?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And who else?
Any of the Stacys who do not wish to give their love and affection to the incels.
So they're a target as well?
Yes.
To be killed?
Yes.
Okay, and what about the normies? Normies.
Yes, we don't necessarily wish to kill the normies, but we do wish to subjugate them. In order to make them understand that that our type is the more.
For the record, this is why I was saying the Sigma male shit, although rooted in the same kind of weirdo environment, is still preferable to the incel stuff, because at least it like promotes better behavior. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm a Sigma male. I'm actually, confident in my own way. Like, it's still kind of weird because it's riddled with like weirdo POA, weirdo like POA mentality. But having said that, it's still like the bar is really low because incels are like really bad. It's a very dangerous, very violent, very dark ideology that sucks you in. But the Sigma male shit's like still at least a little bit better.
Superior one.
Right. So when you say subjugate, what do you mean by that?
Meaning either imprison them or put them in a lower position in society.
Okay.
So that they acknowledge the incels or the Pepe the Frog types as the more superior ones.
So you're saying things that I'm not familiar with.
Sorry.
What's a Pepe the
Frog?
But
he's a mascot on 4chan.
He's a mascot?
Yes.
Oh, mascot on 4chan.
Yes.
No!
I was using a metaphor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's actually worshipped quite frequently.
Oh, okay. All right. So going back to the conversation with Chris and Elliot.